momentarily. There
Yay!
you are.
I get to spectate. Woo!
And I think we're all set there. So uh, it should be match should be starting any second now.
Awesome. So, I mean, man, I'm still just kind of caught up on their teams. The Anubarak Tyrael, that's a classic composition that's been around for a long time. They kind of faded away when Tyrael and both Anubarak kind of got nerfed a little bit. You also saw the rise of a lot of Muradins, Johannas, Leorics, and they kind of faded away. But now they're making a return. They're coming back into the scene, and with Sonya's damage buffs as well. I mean, it's if they can delete somebody, they will be able to run away with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of Sonya's a warrior, but it just so you know what I mean. Sonya is almost an assassin with the amount of damage that she puts out. And this triple tank comp I know is more popular in the sort of European Asian meta. You don't see
Yeah.
that three tank comp come up quite so often in the US meta. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I think, you know, RFS made some decent choices. There's nothing wrong with their characters per se, but that synergy is just not there, man.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. And of course, you guys heard it in the background, the countdown starting the load up screen. So while we're loading in, of course, I guess we can.
Ooh, look at this. Look at this. Flip side, rank 1 all around.
Ooh,
That has is making my ears perk up here. These guys
that's actually
clearly...
RFS. They switched again.
Oh, they switched.
They switched again.
Oh, my goodness.
I was thinking that same thing too. They did it to us last time.
You are absolutely, yes, you're right. Oh my goodness. So, wow, we might be eating our words then. Because RFS clearly knows what they're doing here. They have a lot of experience, as evident by the rank 1. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. You want to introduce the blue team this time around?
Sure. On the blue team, they're going to, of course, load in right when we start that. We have RFS Gaming. We got Percival on Johanna, Craig on Raynor. Ooh, Master Skin Raynor too. GS Needham on Zagara, Ethics on the Brightwing, and Gummy Bear on the Candy Cane Muradin.
And on the red team, we have, and I hope I pronounce this right, Ilheim on Karazim, Hyonra on Jaina, GameSpa on Tyrael, Hinokim on Sonya, and Tangy on the Nubarak.
That triple tank, I'm really excited to see how this works, because if they can just plow through the front line, like Muradin and Johanna don't really have a lot of hold or a lot of like stopping power, you can just kind of run past them. So it'll be interesting to see if Flipside Tactics will be able to just power through them and go for the gusto and kill the squishies.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see they're all traveling together as a group. They haven't shifted to their... oh, there we go. Nubarak is in the bottom lane. Tyrael is moving to the top.
Had to move the volume down a little bit. So they're going for a very hard, heavy push mid and instantly rotating to top because the tri-lane pushing power of Zagara and Raynor. Can they punish, though? That's the question.
They're moving in. There's the polymorph.
Very nice pushback from Craigie and a nice polymorph on Ethics. Really good, the Zagara creep tumors yet again showing their merit, just giving them vision and a heads up of, here comes enemy team, let's run away.
Right. RFS did a good job of backing off. They disengaged very smoothly. And so they, didn't make any mistakes there. And now you can see that Flipside, again, has to sort of rotate around to compensate.
Now in the bot lane, we do have the two tanks, Anubarak and Muradin fighting it out. Muradin getting a nice little bit of damage, but Anubarak's pushing power is just a little bit too strong for Muradin, but the sustain of Muradin is his focal point, I think, against Anubarak. So this lane will probably be a little bit dull, just a little bit of smacking back and forth. The interesting thing is in the top lane.
The top lane, you can see them kind of going back and forth with the AoE.
Jaina throwing the frostbolts, the harass from Zagara. That constant healing from Brightwing is so powerful in the early game.
Absolutely. It's giving them a lot of sustain, and there's not too much that they can do to push back, but Do you almost feel like RFS is being a little bit too conservative, not pushing as much as they could?
They definitely could punish a little bit more. You can see the top turret is almost already dead. Both teams are now retreating to their own giants, but it's a little bit scary going against multiple range, especially Zagara and Raynor. When you're 4 melee, I think that could be the one downside to flipside tactics.
Mm. And there's that first tribute spawning all the way in the bottom lane.
So far, nobody's really making a move for it. You finally see Brightwing, though. This is the power of Brightwing. She gets to sit at top lane and soak and can port down whenever needed, while the rest of the team has to rotate down. So Flipside Tactics can take a nice little advantage here with Brightwing, or RFS Gaming can take a nice little advantage.
And there's a nice little burrow there. Percival tried to steal the token, didn't quite manage to do that.
Yeah, the stun's coming out from Gummy Bear and just trying to prevent that as best as he can. He is getting a little bit low. The Blizzard is just barely not going to be able to catch him. Brightwing has ported down, though, finally, and it looks like Flipside Tactics, huge advantage. Game is getting very low as well. Elham is trying to capture it, but no.
Oh, you see that?
Able to delay it even longer.
That was a beautiful delay there. And another one by Brightwing.
Tangy getting very low. Gummy Bear as well, very low, but you can see the poke damage, though, from Raynor and Zagara is just too much, and having the Brightwing healing consistently, whereas the Monk has to try and punch, is just, it may be a little bit too much. I think RFS is going to be able to take this first tribute.
I think you're right. The other issue here is that flip side, Jaina has very little mana going on.
Oh, hold that thought. Jaina right now is getting chased down and will be the first blood of the game.
and you saw there she had very little mana. If she had just a little bit more, I think they could have punished RFS a little bit. You know, Flipside could have punished RFS more, but that's not the case here.
Yep, and right now we can see the top turret has been taken out. Game is going to have to retreat, but level 7 talents have been reached for RFS, soon to be Flipside. Let's take a look into those talents, see if there's anything really out of the ordinary or something just to point out. We do see more Perfect Storm Muradins, which is kind of interesting. I'm used to a lot of slow attack speed on the slams, you know?
Oh, really? I tend to go with Perfect Storm myself on Muradin. It just really adds up by the end of the game.
That's true, yeah.
Especially if you're, you know, even halfway decent at landing them, it pays off big time.
Definitely, and Brightwing going for full teleport talents on her Z. It's pretty huge. Raynor, of course, going pretty standard seasoned marksman, and focused attack, just super powerful auto attacks. I think it's gonna be crucial for Flipside Tactics to just kill Raynor, because he's gonna be the true threat.
And you can see that Jaina is also going for a Frostbolt build, which is interesting. Not a Blizzard build.
Spamming her Q to try and keep up consistent damage will be super important, especially since they're lacking a little bit in damage. But right here, the second tribute, Zagara will be able to capture it very easily, and Johanna is in the middle of everything, but is able to just kind of walk away. But our Flipside Tactics is not giving up on the chase.
Looks like they're starting to back off. Yep.
Getting
Looks like Sonya might go down.
That poke damage from Raynor and Zagara, a huge stun going down onto the Monk. He will do double flip and then land in the brush dead. Really nice pickup from RFS.
And you can see the Bruiser didn't quite get a chance to do any damage to them in the gate. They just get destroyed. Interesting. It seems like RFS is eking out a slight lead here.
I think the early game will definitely be in RFS's favor. It's going to be once Flipside gets level 10, how they can perform, because that's going to be, once they get their ultimates, they get the Judgment, they get Cocoon or Locust Swarm, they get Wrath of the Berserker, they get the Divine Palm or 7-sided Strike. I think they're a very level
late game
10
team.
Yeah, they're going to need that, and they have to get it though, but the thing is, right now, third tribute spawning and RFS has already hit level 10.
That's true. Oh, that Kharazim's way out of position.
Yeah,
it looks like he's trying to get away.
Tried to capture that tribute. Tangy trying to delay the tribute cap, and Percival does pull himself off of it, but not much they can do as level
Yeah.
10 against 9. You can't
Yeah,
really do
flip
anything.
side's gonna pick this up, no problem. I'm sorry, RFS. I apologize. RFS is gonna pick this up, no problem.
And Flipside going for a top boss, but they are caught out, and you can see the rotations of a few members. It looks like Flipside will be able to capture this boss, though.
Now RFS is running in there. Nope, they're not gonna do it. They're not gonna engage.
But with that tribute, they will be able to force down a lot, as you can see GS on the bottom and Percival as well going for that bottom fort. I mean, right now, Flipside's on the defense. They got to get that level 10 and then try and pick a fight. But with a tribute, you're not going to be able to really do anything.
Right, so they did just hit the level 10, but now it's all about defense. And Zagara's pushing pretty hard on that bottom lane. That fort's going down.
Mm-hmm. We also see on the Talon side, we do have a Hyperion on the Raynor and Cocoon on the Anubarak. So probably going to be doing the Cocoon on Brightwing or one of the tanks. That way they can just hard engage and try and kill somebody.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I think it's interesting when people go with Hyperion. I almost feel like in the 5v5, it's better to go with the Raiders because too often I think people kind of ignore the ships and just let them, wail away at someone. And so I think they do a surprising amount of damage. Whereas you see the big shadow of the Hyperion, you want to get out of the way ASAP. So I guess maybe they're using it more as a zoning tool than anything else.
Right now, the zoning may need to occur as Flipside is collapsing onto this boss. Sonya goes in. The Hyperion is popped. Judgment, though, going down
There's
on
a
Brightwing.
Judgment.
A huge Golem root onto Raynor and Zagara. Johanna will instantly fall. 7-sided strike is popped. Raynor will finally fall and can flip. Oh, RFS is able to take the boss barely, but they will pay for it with their lives. Muradin may be the only one able to get out of there. He's running.
That I doubt.
Oh, the burrow charge. He's getting chased down. He will not be able to get away, I think. The Sonya is keeping up. He is, no, down. A 5-for-0 exchange. They did capture the boss, though. So, nice take, but look at the level lead now. It's completely even game again.
Dead even. Yep, absolutely. This might be the mistake that Flipside needs to recover. And once all those abilities start going off, man, you were just like talking nonstop. It was a lot of stuff going down. You wanna break down the fight a little bit for people who just watched it?
Yeah, for sure. So the Tyrael judgmented the Brightwing, who was in the very back, and as he did that, it pushed multiple members into the Golem's root circle, and so Raynor was rooted, the Zagara was rooted, and I think one of the tanks was rooted, and so with no support, Brightwing was just in the back line. They were able to pop Johanna very quickly with Monk's 7-sided strike, which you called, by the way, Chrono. And then Raynor dropped as well. And once you lose Raynor and Johanna as well, I mean, you have to full retreat. They were able to capture the boss, but at what cost is what everybody
just barely,
was saying.
right? Nice jump on Karazim, but Zagara picks up that tribute, no problem.
Seems like Flipside really is a little bit ult heavy. Once they get the Judgment, though, which is on a rather short cooldown, especially, did he take Battle Momentum at 7? He did, so he should be, well, no, that's only basic abilities.
That's only basic abilities, yeah.
Oh, no, reduce ability cooldowns. So yeah, that'll work. I think once Judgment's up, then they can go in and hard engage. Because that's their only real heavy form of engagement is Judgment, cocoon somebody, and just go for the gusto and just attack.
Well, I mean, Jaina has Water Elemental, not Ring of Frost, so yeah. I mean, the Burrow charge is sort of an engage, but the Judgment is the better way to go. I agree with you. And it looks like we've got a fight on our hands.
Yep, the next tribute has been spawned. The Water Elemental is popped. Judgment going down on Johanna, dealing massive damage. A cocoon, though, I feel may have been a little bit misused. Muradin, though, is being focused. The 7-sided strike dealing massive damage. Amal only capturing Tyrael into it, but they'll pull in on Sonya. She will whirlwind and survive just long enough, finally falling. Both teams taking heavy damage. Raynor dealing huge amounts of damage. With Johanna still alive, she is able to kind of save Raynor, and he is just poking them down to oblivion.
Did you see that at one point? Looks like Karazim was hitting on Raynor, and he backed off to deal with Johanna, and that was a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't take out Raynor, and like you said, you you yeah, excuse me. If Raynor's alive, there's not much that they can do to take out the team. Raynor has to go down.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that was probably their mistake. Also, the cocoon seemed a little premature on Johanna there at the beginning of the fight.
Especially when they judgment engaged on Johanna, it's a little bit odd to try and take out Johanna. I feel like, or web wrap her, if you're gonna go for the tank, then probably get rid of the Raynor, because then you can focus all your damage on it. Like, there's so many different cocoon targets that was probably not the greatest one.
I'm gonna attribute that to sort of just a misclick, I think, on their part, because it just doesn't make sense for them to do. Now, why do you think they're not picking up the boss? Oh, is that why? Because they expected the tribute?
Tribute spawning soon, and also the level 16 having been reached by RFS. If they were on boss and got collapsed on, that would just kind of throw the game out of their control. Now, right now, they just need to delay long enough to get 16. You can see Sonya was in the top trying to soak a little bit. And Anubarak's still going in. He will be engaged upon, though. Monk finally following up. The stun going down will be enough to take out Anubarak. Seven-sided strike is popped. He is captured, though, in the maw directly afterward. He will fall as well, trying to retreat, but Gummy Bear with the avatar is going to chase him down and force him away. That will give RFS the tribute, and Gummy Bear is still not giving up. Those auto attacks hurt so much. He will punch and get the kill, and now Sonya will be the next one to fall as Raynor finally joins the fight. A 3-for-none engagement for RFS. And the tribute.
Quite the mouthful. I had no chance to get a word in, but looks like I think you and I are going to be eating our words. Even though we had said that Flipside had the better comp, but RFS is dominating this match. They're winning engage after engage.
Yeah, they definitely... I feel like Flipside just isn't engaging properly. They engaged on a Johanna and then shortly afterward cocooned her. They had Anubarak charge in when Sonya wasn't there. They were a talent down. It seems like they're trying to pick fights that they aren't fully prepared for. Maybe they're nervous, and maybe having the cam on them is a little bit intimidating, who knows, but RFS is definitely, they've taken heavy control of this game, capturing top boss and now going for the next boss at bot lane.
Right, this is what I was saying to you before, it's gonna be very difficult for Flipside to recover, because now they're constantly gonna be on the back foot. They just finished dealing with the boss up top, now they have a boss on the bottom. The next tribute's gonna be going up in probably less than a minute. It's a lot to take in, and it's a lot to sort of recover from.
Definitely, and it looks like RFS wants to force push with the bottom boss, which could be pretty scary. I mean, a boss with a random roots could definitely change the game. You can see there's some pings going down into that shrubbery. Sonya is nowhere near the team of Flipside, so Flipside has to full-on retreat, and Sonya, as you can see, pulled off the bruisers and is back into the team.
Right. They need a really good judgment engage here. Oh, there it is.
Judgment going down onto the Raynor. You can see them all trying to engage. A huge maw, though, taking out both tanks. Sonya
and Hyperion is going to do some damage to them as well.
They're trying to get down onto the Raynor. The cocoon goes down on Muradin, but it is not enough. Raynor finally falls at the cost of 3 of their players, and Jaina soon to be the next one to fall. This could be game over, and RFS running away with it.
I think so. You took the words right out of my mouth, quite literally. That maw really hurt them.
Yeah, what happened in that fight? Because it was like they had the perfect engagement on Raynor, and then all of a sudden it just crumbled, as their core crumbles now.
Exactly. Well, that's what happened. They had the engage on Raynor. It was a very quick maw, followed by a Hyperion. So the Hyperion basically started hitting them right before the maw, and then as the maw was opening up, the back of the Hyperion got in a few more shots. Then you had the AoE. Muradin, Raynor, and Zagara just focus fired them down.
Yeah, Raynor was able to survive a lot longer than I felt like he should have, really. I don't know. It's interesting. I feel like Flipside Tactics definitely had really nice. Just they had a hard engaged team. They could definitely kill who they needed to kill, but
Right.
every single time when they charge, they would having two tanks to choose to cocoon is pretty tough. I feel like you just kind of have to try and bypass them, cocoon the healer, and then go for everybody else because the two tanks, they're not going to really do too much damage, and Raynor is the only one. Looking at his talents, he has Giant Killer at 13, Bullseye
Right.
at 16, which gives stuns, and that's just, I mean, that's so hard to deal with. Zagara you could kill, but her damage is a little bit more sporadic, so I feel like they just needed to cocoon Brightwing, get her out of the picture so there's no polymorph, there's no blink heal, there's no heal, there's no anything, and just try and kill Raynor as the one heavy damage dealer really in the game.
Right. And you can see that Brightwing did go with Criterize, which gives a
Oh yeah.
vulnerable status. That adds quite a bit. You can see that Sonya and the Nubarak both chose Imposing Presence. They wanted to kind of slow down the attack speed, I imagine, of Raynor and Zagara, but it wasn't enough, basically.
Yeah, Numbing Blast to try and root him. I mean, they were dealing massive damage to the tanks, but the important one was still alive. Raynor, every single time. The one engagement they had where they completely wiped him, they were able to kill Raynor and Johanna right off the bat, which once they did that, they just handedly took the fight because Zagara can't really sit there and fight on her own. She'll just fall to the rest of the team.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Still, it was a good match. They tried their best, and RFS advances. And it'd be interesting to see if RFS meets up with Momentum. That would make for an interesting game.
Indeed. Let's take a quick look actually at the draft real quick. If I can find it and pull it up. Where are you, draft? Where are you? Or not draft, sorry, bracket. If we can take a look at the bracket real quick.
So we are in the semifinals. We've got Divine Shield going up against Momentum, and RFS Gaming going against Apex Gaming. And so this used to be in the last week. This was a best of 3, but this is going to be best of 1 for this week, and only the finals are going to be best of 3.
Ooh, so there goes RFS. You can see them right then just moving up. They will go against Apex Gaming. Divine Shield did take out Drew's dudes, and they will go against the Momentum, which was the first match we covered.
Right.
And Apex Gaming did beat Eggnog, and they'll move on to face RFS Gaming.
I'm going to see if we can't get into... who do you want to see more? Do you want to see Apex, or do you want to see Divine Shield? Which one should I...
Honestly, both would be fantastic.
Right?
It's more of a flip of a coin, and we'll take whoever wins, I guess. But while we do that, we're going to take a very quick little break, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll have either for you RFS Gaming against Apex Gaming or Divine Shield versus Momentum. Maybe if you guys say stuff in the chat, we'll choose the one that you guys want to see.
Yes, please. Let us know which one, and then we'll make it happen.
Sweet. See you guys in a little bit. Don't go anywhere.
Down in Texas. At a
Hello, we are back, everybody. How you doing? Welcome back. I'm Mr. J Pickles.
And I'm Chrono Cloud.
You guys are watching the Random Championship Series here on Random Championship Series on Twitch. How's it going? We got two teams here. We weren't able to get Divine against Momentum, as it seems they have already started their game.
We're so sorry. We wanted to see them too, but it looks like their match started just about 10 minutes ago, so we missed them by that much.
Instead, though, we get to see RFS move on to face Apex Gaming in the semifinals.
Right, and so Apex actually was in last week's tournament. They got knocked out a little bit early, so I'm not sure how this is going to go down. RFS put on a great match, though, so I'm very excited to see what they can bring out for this match as well. And you can see that it is Tomb of the Spider Queen, which is a map we haven't seen yet this tournament. And the first bans have gone out. Uther, not a surprise there, and Zagara, which I do think is a little surprising. Why do you think there's a ban on Zagara?
Creep tumors, man. Those creep tumors give so much vision, especially on such a small map. You can put it in one little spot, and you just get to see that entire lane. So
that's an excellent point. I hadn't even considered that. And, you know, in Tomb of the Spider Queen, a tactic that's very efficient is preventing the other team from doing the turn-ins, and that creep allows you to do just that.
Definitely, and you saw also in the previous two games, everybody got to see it when they tried to gank Zagara. They had about 2 or 3 creep tumors they had to pass by, and Zagara's like, oh, there you guys are. All right, I'm going to walk away then. Cool. So it really, it's a protection. It's a delay if you see them trying to cap. I mean, it also delays them just if they want to kill the creep tumors. They have to go over there, hit them, and kill them. So it's just pretty annoying. But besides the Zagara ban, they did pick up Jaina on their first go-around, which no real big surprise. And the follow-up on RFS was the Johanna and the finally not banned Tassadar.
Yes. So now that they have Tassadar, are they going to go with the second healer, or you think Tassadar is enough with the upgraded shields to sort of hold the team together?
Definitely going to need a true healer, I think. I mean, Tassadar shields are solid, especially when you get the 50% of the shield will remain on the person after you shield them. It's strong, but it's not enough to really keep them alive. He could get healing ward, but that dies so quickly, especially if you have a Jaina or a Muradin or whatever other AoE that they may pick up. It'll die pretty quickly. So Tassadar definitely is a nice pickup, a good support, but not a solo support, I think. But the bans have started. First off, Apex picked Rain or Muradin. Pretty solid, pretty standard, no real big shockers there. What do you think RFS goes for a ban?
Well, let's see. It could be a warrior ban, maybe. It's got to be a warrior or healer. Zeratul, I don't think. Oh, Zeratul.
The Void Prism, I guess, is still a little bit intimidating, which I don't blame people. It did lose, I believe it's just cast range, but
yes, it has to be a lot closer, yeah.
It still is, I mean, it's Void Prism. It can set up so much for the team, so not too bad of a ban. Apex now, of course, with the ball in their court. Go for the Kayle.
Kayle. Okay, well, that is obviously Kayle is one of the bigger damage dealers in the game. That's obviously now denied to RFS, but they didn't use Kayle in the last match, so that's okay.
Yeah, probably not too worried about it. I mean, it does limit the damage dealers, though, for RFS to go for.
Right.
What do you think they pick now, though, with I mean, Zagara, Kael'Thas denied from them. Raynor, Jaina already taken. What's left for him to go?
Well, it looks like they went with Vala. Vala is a very solid choice. Um, and, it's going to be interesting to see if they go with the Rain of Vengeance or the Strafe. Strafe is popular, but I prefer Rain of Vengeance myself because of the setup it allows. It's a solid engage, and I think people are so often used to seeing Strafe that they're not expecting the Rain of Vengeance almost, and it tends to catch people by surprise.
Definitely, and Tomb does have some nice locations where you can rain and completely block off a pathway. So, as you stated, it's a really solid pick. Karazim being the full-on support that they go for, and I have yet to see Divine Palm. It seems everybody really loves that 7-sided strike.
Well, I mean, because most of the teams tend to have a double tank comp, it's really not a bad choice because of how much damage it deals to it. And Divine Palm requires like perfect timing, I feel like. Pop it too early and players can stop. Pop it just a little bit too late and your friend dies.
Yeah.
So it requires really, really good timing. Very tricky. And Apex has picked up Malfurion. Not a surprise. Very solid healer.
And now, do they go for that second tank, or do they want to finally go for a triple range damage dealer?
I mean, if it was me, I would go for the triple range damage dealer. Unless they want to pick up Sonya. Sonya might be a nice little middle ground here. Very versatile, and she can jump in, just like Muradin.
Oh,
Rexxar. Finally, the first interesting choice of the night.
Yeah, haven't seen him at all. He did receive, of course, a change. They finally made you able to control Misha a little bit better. I was very adamant about how stupid Misha was, you just couldn't control Misha. I'd have to you'd have to run away, right-click the enemy so Misha would attack, which then, of course, forces you to stop running, and then they just kill you because Rexxar is pretty squishy on his own. So the change to Rexxar, I think, is going to be super strong, but how strong do you think he is on this map?
Well, Rexxar sort of does best when he is capturing camps, by himself. He's almost like a buffer Sylvanas almost in that regard. Azmodan. Now that's another combo you don't see too often. Very interesting. But here, Tomb of the Spider Queen, not that many camps to capture. There's really the 2 bruisers, 1 siege, and the boss. That's really it. Having said that, he's got really fantastic wave clear, and that can be very helpful here.
And Misha, the CC, Boars maybe, or the Bear. I mean, a lot of potential that Rexxar could bring. It'll be interesting to see how he's played. The Azmodan, of course, stacks are going to be pretty scary to go against.
Right. And, if Johanna and Azmodan are a fantastic combo because Johanna locks the target down and Azmodan moves in there with that dunk.
Kobe.
That's right. It's a deadly combination and one that we don't see that often anymore. It was very popular earlier, I would say, earlier in the meta, especially when Johanna first came out, but I don't see it as much now.
Yeah, teams like Cloud9 and Tempo Storm, they've run a lot of Azmodan and Johanna on this map. Or when Leoric was able to just completely wipe out minion waves, it'd be Leoric and Azmodan, because Leoric would swing, Azmodan would dunk, boom, you get 7 stacks right off the bat, and it's pretty scary, especially if Azmodan can get the stacks rolling very quickly in the early game.
Right.
If RFS decides to go for the stacking on Azmodan, it's really going to be crucial to... can they get him those stacks?
Right. Absolutely. And we are just waiting on the invite here to come into the game.
And as always, who do you pick, man? Who do you pick, RFS or Apex?
Oh, man, that's a good question. Let me take a look. I was setting up the game for us. Yes. I don't know if you can see my cat here. He is trying to join in. This is a really interesting comp for both teams. I think I'm going to go with RFS on this end, just because that Johanna Azmodan combo is no joke. Having said that, I think Rexxar here is the wild card. If whoever's playing Rexxar, they might be sort of the clutch player on Apex's team.
Mm-hmm.
What about yourself?
So you said who again?
I said RFS.
RFS. Yeah, I mean, they do have a nice front line for Apex. Rexar is going to be a little bit interesting. Oh man, it's a really toss-up because RFS, if they can get the stacks on Azmodan and kind of delay until the later game, they definitely, I feel, can just run away with it and just completely Kobe somebody down to half health, force Rainer's passive to pop, so then he, well, not as passive, his boost though, I mean, that it's tough. I feel like
It is tough.
Apex could definitely be fine. I think their strength is going to be a little bit more in the early game, and RFS is all really going to depend on the dunk stacking. So I'll give it to Apex, but if RFS is successful in getting the dunk stacks on Azmodan, I think RFS can just take off with it and
between the Tassadar and the Karazim, RFS I feel like has a little more survivability than Apex.
That's true, yeah.
So I think that's going to be key. Like I said, the Rexar is sort of the unknown element for me. I'm not sure how he's going to be used on this map, and I think he is, most likely going to be pivotal to Apex's success.
Indeed, it's funny seeing one of Dragon. I know Dragon. Played games with him quite a bit ago, but he's I don't really see him play Heroes of the Storm too much, so I had to reminisce about that. Oh man, I'm really intrigued to see how the stacking is gonna work, because that's really gonna be, you stated it, Rexar is gonna be interesting to see how well can he execute the Misha control and the harass, and then on RFS side, can they get the Kobe stacks? That's gonna be really the telltale sign of who will win this game, I believe.
Right. And I really like RFS is almost completely color coordinated with their heroes, which is actually
crazy.
Really cool.
Change, come on, you can't be gold. You got to get that red. Well, I guess he can kind of match with Percival. I can't see the.
Yeah, we can't see the.
You can, Blizzard. We got to fix this. We can see only 4 members. Where's that center member? Gotta know who that is, man. Oh.
Yeah. I'm sure he's matching too, but Vala doesn't really have. Well, I guess her main costume is red-ish, so that would work if she wasn't using the master skin. But still going to be kind of cool to see the color coordination going down. And here we go.
Jumping into the best of one game between RFS Gaming and Apex Gaming. I knew it was
Apex.
I knew it was another gaming. I apologize, Apex Gaming.
Oh, look at this. Both of them rank 1 teams.
Ooh.
And so here we've got RFS is on the right this time, and Apex is on the left.
Guys, why you gotta do this? You gotta gotta make it more and more tricky to try and
remember, right?
Jeez, they draft on left and right sides and then play on opposite sides. Come on, guys.
So for the blue team, we have Ziddy on Rexar, Altoholic on Muradin, Dragon 1414 on Raynor, as Liquor on Malfurion, and Camulus on Jaina.
Master Skin Jaina too. And on the red side, we got the back spamming RFS Gaming. We got Craigie on Vala, Ethics on that Monk, Percival on Johanna, Gummy Bear on Tassadar, and GS Needham on that Azmodan. I like the back spamming. They actually all are color coordinated. Craigie is a little bit off though. I mean, he's got some gold, but you need a little bit more red in there because the other
he doesn't really have a red option in that costume. But yeah, it's kind of cool. So this is obviously where they're waiting for the creep to spawn, and for once we're not just meeting in the middle for a little level 1 team fight.
Yeah, both teams being very careful. You could see Ziddy, though, using his Misha to try and spot out where the enemy team is, sitting in brushes. That's a huge benefit now to being able to move the bear, move Misha around to where you need to go. So really quick, clear rotation straight up to top, and Gummy Bear in trouble.
Right. I think he's going to get away, though. It's too early.
Yeah, that phase shift, just able to run away. Misha, of course, taking a little bit of damage, but we'll be fine. If you do kill Misha, you get 0.25 experience, but it does also disable a lot of Rexar's abilities.
It does. He only has the Hawk ability after that, and it doesn't do much.
Altaholic taking a bit of damage. No, Misha! Misha!
Oh,
barely.
That was a nice little move of the charge to get him out of range.
Indeed.
And RFS is rotating up.
So they're doing the Dragonshire type play where they clear mid, rotate top, clear top, rotate back to mid, clear mid. They're just non-stop moving, and it really is difficult to deal with because of just all that fast movement, and also all the Kobe stacks. They're stacking pretty well.
Oh, looks like Gummy's in trouble, and he goes down.
No phase shift for him, but Zitty will be able to be picked off by Percival on the other end. Nice little exchange there. They do have a nice experience lead on RFS Gaming, but I think the big thing is they are stacking very nicely for the Asmodean.
Right, absolutely.
You can see them setting it up here. Kobe. Oh, missed the back three, but as long as you can get 1 or 2 minions, it helps. It doesn't, like, once you get level 10 on Asmodean, then you can usually start clearing entire waves by yourself.
Right. And there goes.
And look at that experience lead, by the way, on RFS Gaming. Nice little, not a whole lot, but even after the 1-for-1 exchange, they do have a little bit more. It could be this rotation.
It's probably the rotation. That's most likely was. And you can see Percival, 24 tokens on him. 24 of the spider tokens. It's pretty sizable.
What is Asmodean's stacks? Asmodean's at 44 stacks right now, so he's doing pretty well getting that stacking up. Super important. The gems, of course. Once you get 50 gems, you will spawn web weavers down all the lanes, which will then push for you, and of course that's always good.
Oh, Ethix was in trouble there for a little bit, but nice shield by Gummy Bear, and he got out of there no problem.
Just back and forth, back and forth. Meanwhile, though, oh, Gummy Bear taking a little bit of damage from Misha. Dragon and Craigie on the bot lane, just kind of poking back and forth. Nobody's really going too heavily against one another.
Right. Percival is making a very sort of tantalizing target here, and Altaholic turning in 15, got that in just fine. Percival up to 27.
I think the difficult thing is going to be the turn-ins, but Percival taking a lot of damage, is trying to walk away. He used
nice
Unstoppable.
body block by Muradin.
Jaina in the front line. That was a really good body block by Muradin. Able to just delay long enough. And now with Johanna out of the picture, that's going to hurt their stacking capabilities for Asmodean.
Right. But, you know, the important thing was he didn't die there. So, at this rate, you know, he might have enough for 2/3 of the turn-in by himself at this rate.
Yeah, we got 55 gems on the side of Apex Gaming, and
looks like Apex is going to be first. Oh, just
Ethix getting
quite.
caught out. Oh, barely is able to get that dash off. A nice
radiant
Percival.
dash. Yeah.
That was really close, though. Got to be careful. One dead player can be pretty bad, but at this early stage of the game, probably wouldn't cause too much damage, especially if it's only the monk.
First of all, caught out of position. Great body blocking by Ziddy and Altaholic, really delaying him.
Yeah, that poke damage was, I mean, that was really good, just orb walking and trying to body block him, but little damage exchange back and forth. Both teams dead even at level 7.
And there goes Percival with the turn-in of 28. Pretty sizable.
Gotta get the rest, though, from that Rainer, but with Vala turning in, or sorry, from Vala, I don't think needs 6 more gems. Percival taking a lot of heavy damage. Looking at the level 7 talents, not too much is really out of the ordinary. We do have Mental Acuity on the Tassadar for level 4, so more oracles to spot out where the team is. It's definitely a safer play there.
Right. And looks like Vala is going for a Siphoning Arrow, Puncturing Arrow build. Very interesting.
Definitely with Amisha, another person to soak on the enemy team, that'll help a lot. Percival, though, getting caught out. The roots go down. Unstable is not going to be, or Unstoppable is not going to be enough. He will be picked up right as the web weavers are spawning too. So he will be able to get back into the lane, but Not after the web weavers have done a little bit of damage.
I think he should get back pretty quickly, especially if he goes to top lane. But it looks like Apex is moving into the mid lane.
Ooh, trying to get nice damage out on Gummy Bear, dropping him to half health. And they're just 4-man sieging this mid lane while Raynor sits at bot, just doing his own thing. Percival's got to be a little bit careful. He'll be able to get away, but...
And Raynor went with Seasoned Marksman. No surprise that he's soaking up the bottom lane by himself.
Slowly pushing down the mid lane, of course, with these web weavers while the rest of the lanes push. The most important structure in the game, the well, is now gone in the mid lane. And in the top lane, minimal damage. Bot lane, minimal damage. So nice pickup on those mid turrets. Did get them a slight advantage into level 9, but nothing too drastic. It seems like both these teams are keeping it close.
Absolutely. And, you know, for the most part, they're pretty dead even. But now RFS is going to get their web weavers down any moment.
Yep, they just have to go for that turn. And Percival getting jumped on by the team will have that unstoppable pops, and we'll be able to back up. Misha taking a little bit of damage. It's going to be tough to try and get that turn in, I feel, for RFS, as the rotation game between mid and top is just a little bit too much. It seems like Vala is going to have to be the one, or Tassadar looks like he wants to try and sneak it in.
Oh, look at that Raynor with 34.
They spotted Tassadar. They prevented him from turning in.
Yep.
And they're dealing a lot of damage, finally forcing him to retreat. Level 10 has been reached for Apex Gaming. Anything... Ooh, we do see Bestial Wrath.
Hyperion, yep, Water Elemental, not Ring of Frost. I'm a little surprised with that, actually. And level 10 by RFS. Let's see what the Vala goes with. That's what I'm really curious about.
Oh, Dragon on that Raynor, trying to turn in the gems, getting Kobe'd by the Asmodean. I mean, 37 gems, if you can get that in, that will be another turn in. But Johanna is able to turn in the top lane. So the red team, RFS, will have the web weavers pushing for him.
And Vala has gone for the strafe. I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed. I actually really wanted her to go Rain the Vengeance, but I don't blame her for going strafe. It does deal a little more damage. And I guess in her mind, they already haven't engaged with the Johanna ultimate.
And Ethics did go Divine Palm instead of 7-sided Strike, so let's see if his Palm is Divine and can actually save people lives.
Right. So it looks like that mid web weaver, no problem taking that one out. No real damage there. Looks like the top one's approaching the gate, but they rotated up. Apex rotated up very, very well.
You can see there's a lot of respect between both these teams. Nobody's really going for a hard engagement. There's only been 3 total kills throughout this game, nearly 10 minutes in. And, I mean, both teams are playing very passively and very cautious. It seems like that's almost playing into RFS's hand.
Have to agree with you. Now, RFS building up those stacks on Asmodean. You think that's what's going to make the difference here?
Well, the kill on Vala did not help, but Asmodean does have 170 bonus damage stacks right now, which is pretty, that's pretty scary. I mean, with a black pool...
With the black pool, yeah.
That's going to amplify the damage by so much. So I think just the longer that RFS can delay the game, the better, as long as Asmodean continuously gets stacks. Now, Apex did get their web weavers, and they look like they want to just go all in on this mid fort.
Yeah, they're pushing pretty hard. There goes the Hyperion. Now, obviously, Hyperion does bonus damage to structures, so I think this fort's going down.
Yeah, the pressure from the web weavers and that Hyperion dealing a lot of AoE damage. It's going to be tough for Monk to get some nice heals out. Misha doing a great job harassing, almost falling. Finally, they kill the Misha. It is only a little bit of experience, so it won't do too much, but that is a nice little way to kind of force them to back off, as taking Bestial Wrath does force him to lower his damage with that. And Apex moves to the top lane now to apply pressure there.
Yeah, they're doing that was a great rotation by them. I don't know that they'll get the fort, but they'll do a little bit of damage here. Percival almost overextended, but he backs off in time.
They do have level 13, so that will be nice. And meanwhile, oh, Misha did end
Misha
up
down
falling.
again. Yeah.
0.5 experience. During the bottom, or in the bottom lane, that Webweaver did take out that fort, so a little bit of nice bonus experience for Apex Gaming. And then both teams just, you can see the respect. They all kind of go back to their own sides and do their own thing. But Apex does have 62 gems to turn in, which is enough to get them to turn in, and RFS has enough as well. But Percival, a little bit overextended here at top, should be fine. Oh.
No, I think he's gonna go. Yep, there he goes.
Oh, they were able to blast through that shield on him. I always forget the name of her Unstoppable.
I don't remember off the top of my head either, but they're going for the boss. Gutsy move on Apex's part. It looks like RFS is aware of it, but they're not engaging. Why?
A little bit tough without that Johanna. I mean, they don't have the best damage. You can see that Kobe, though, that globe doing a lot of damage. Tranquility is popped to full heal him. It looks like they may want to try and push down with this boss. I mean, that was kind of a random Tranquility. Nobody was engaging, so full heal.
I think it was overly cautious, but and now they're going to hand in, and as you mentioned, they have enough for the turn in.
Get the boss and get the web weavers, and then just force down the lane. That's pretty smart, but this boss, unfortunately, well, it'll take out that top fort. That's not the worst.
Yeah. Yeah, it really seems like Apex is sort of controlling the pacing of the game.
I could not agree more. I have to ask, though, as RFS is just about to hit 14, Apex getting closer to that level 16, what do you think the game plan is right now for RFS?
Ooh, man, it is tough. They need Apex to make a mistake. That's basically, I think, their best shot. Someone has to overextend and be punished for it. And look at that.
It looks like instead RFS overextended. Vala was completely caught out, stunned down. Percival getting low as well. The Divine Palm barely saving him. Great Divine Palm. You can see the globes from Asmodean are really strong. He does start taking a bit of damage, but that was the opposite of what they needed.
Unfortunately so. I don't see how they're going to recover otherwise. Now, obviously, that dunk is doing a lot of damage, but it's not enough by itself. To, and no one else seems to be going in there for the engage.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. I mean, it does do a bit of damage, but they're able to heal it up rather quickly, and they've, I feel, only been able to get 0.75 experience now from that Misha. I mean, a kill's a kill, but not a whole lot of experience. Apex has hit level 16. Let's take a look into those talents, as it seems both teams are just kind of retreating and licking their wounds. We do have, let's see, Primal Intimidation on that Rexar, so a nice little auto attack slow on him. Murden with Stone Form, Raynor with that Bullseye, Valfurion with Hardened Focus, and Jaina with that Northern Exposure to deal a little bit more damage.
Right. Very solid build, and looks like RFS is moving into, they wanted to get some web weavers, but they were denied.
Yeah, they have 90 total gems on them. It's going to be a little bit tough to try and push those in, especially when you're down a talent. I mean, they have to get level 16 until they can fight back. Man, those Globe of Annihilations are just dealing massive damage.
Yeah, but as you mentioned, they're able to heal through pretty easily. And it's basically just a battle of attrition at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Apex is playing very cautiously, which is not a bad thing. They do have the lead. They don't want to lose it at all. They have the game in their hands. No forts have fallen, so might as well play it safe. RFS has finally hit 16, but Apex is, well, nope, back again. They just don't want to overextend or make any mistakes.
They don't want to take any risks, and I can't blame them. I really can't. And you can see they're turning in again. Are they gonna have? Nope, they're gonna be a bit short. for another set of web weavers. What do you do now? Because do you just farm out the creep until you have enough, or do you start pushing a lane?
Well, being on even talents, they must not feel confident enough to go for an engagement because they are on even talents, so they could try and fight, but I don't know. I mean, you have so many gems, it's a little bit scary to risk losing all of them.
Well, yeah, but Apex. What should Apex do?
Apex?
Because they don't have enough gems to get the next web weavers. There's not much creep to take down either.
Well,
what lane do you push, if any?
Probably just do exactly what they're doing. Keep the lanes pushed. Try and keep an eye on turn-in to prevent RFS, and just slowly wait until level 20. It looks like RFS finally able to get a turn-in, though. Will get the web weavers. That's exactly what they needed. And Apex looks like they may want to take that engagement, but Unstoppable is popped on Johanna, and she will run away. I can actually now click. Iron Skin is the name of that talent.
Iron Skin. There we go. See, the problem is there's still a 2-level difference between the two teams, and as long as Apex continues to play sort of conservatively and maintain that lead, I'm not sure what RFS is going to be able to do.
Well, the web weavers now with them should help them push, but I mean, are they going to be able to do a whole lot? The Kobe goes down. Wow, that was nearly half of Jaina's health, dealing a lot of damage, and Rexar getting very
Rexar
low.
almost went down, yeah.
And now they rotate to the top lane. This has been the name of the game, just rotate, rotate, rotate.
Right, definitely one of the slower games we've seen. There goes the Hyperion. Nice dunk.
Dealing massive damage. Oh,
I think Jaina might go. Oh, no.
Testar is able to get out. Percival getting very low. Divine Palm is on him, but it was a little bit too early, and now he's on full retreat, but seems like he won't be able to make it out alive. He barely has enough shields. He will finally fall. The Kobe's on Asmodean are strong.
Gummy, I think, might go down as well.
Yep.
There he goes. Yeah.
And there's still, Apex is still pressuring in that top side. GSN is getting very low.
Very nice body block by Alcoholic. And Ethix just gets destroyed. This is probably the worst thing that could have happened to RFS.
Definitely. They were able to get top and bot for it, but at the cost of 4 of their lives and a top keep, which is exactly what Apex wants.
But they're not going for the core. Interesting.
They are a little bit low. They could definitely have gone
for
for it, but I think they're playing very cautiously. They do not want to risk anything, it seems. They could have gone for the core, but I guess they're playing it safe, don't want to overextend and lose, and also that bot lane is dealing quite a hefty amount of damage to that keep.
Interesting. So this game is, I mean, obviously RFS has a chance to recover now. They did lose a bunch of gems. So there goes the next set of web weavers.
Yep, Apex with the web weavers and also level 20. Which
You see how much that dunk did to Raynor?
Yeah, completely just destroyed his health bar. Like, Jaina and Raynor are just a little bit too squishy. So if they can poke and then engage, that'll be really nice. But Malfurion, with all the heals that he needs, having hardened focus really helps because he can quickly put regrowth out on both of them to heal them back up.
Right.
With level 20, though, it looks like Apex is going to want to try and close this game out.
Yep, there goes the Hyperion. The dunk doesn't hit anyone.
Raynor, everybody just completely charging in. Percival is having a hard time surviving. The damage is just so strong. Misha going in there with Bestial Wrath, trying to target down Kobe on 3 members, dealing massive damage to him. Is not
Water
enough,
Elemental.
though.
Yeah, Water Elemental was taking down Ethix, but they're backing off. Apex is backing off.
Yep. They thought they had it, but
Very
were unable
cautious.
to. Yes. Oh,
That
Misha.
One last dunk for the road, and it misses. I thought they would get the fort at least.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think Apex should have just gone for the keep and then retreated? They do have level 20.
Yeah, that's what I've done. But look at this bottom lane. Look at how many. Oh wow! Wow. I spoke too soon.
Look at look at what was there? Asmodan the Magician just making an entire wave disappear with one globe. I mean, that is dealing massive damage now.
It can't be ignored.
And this,
That's probably. There goes another Misha.
oh,
Poor bear.
what were you gonna
Animal
say?
abuse. I was gonna say I think GS Needhelm is gonna be their sort of key. That's their shot at victory. I think if he can do that globe
Whoa.
and they can do a solid engage thereafter, I think that's their best shot.
He has 424 stacks on that globe. So that thing's hitting for a lot of damage. And I mean, this may be how RFS is probably very happy right now that Apex is playing very passively. RFS is able to get level 20 now. Asmodan has massive amounts of stacks on the globe. They may be able, or maybe looking to take a fight now that they're 20.
This is one good engage for either team. Well, I don't know. Obviously, RFS is a little bit behind. They need, I think, 2 good engages because too many forts are still up on Apex's side, and looks like they're going for the boss.
Yeah, I mean,
You think Apex is going to get there in time?
Well, the Asmodan
They know what's up.
They're going. Can they get
They
there?
know what's up. Yep.
Stuns on Muradin going in onto Johanna. Hyperion
There's
has
the
been
Hyperion.
popped, and they instantly fall off the boss. But Asmodan is getting hit with massive damage. Percival getting very low. The dunk goes out.
There's the strafe.
Only hitting Muradin. Yeah, there's just not
Oh,
enough
Percival got
damage.
taken out.
Just not enough damage. You see the bolts. You see them all trying to run away. Gummy Bear, though, will fall, and this could be the game ender right here for Apex.
And Needham almost dead himself. He makes it to safety, but I think they're going to take out the core right here. They just don't have enough damage to hold off Apex.
Yeah, Asmodan's trying to dunk. He's dealing massive damage, but it's just not enough. 3 members down. Asmodan and Vala are alive, but they cannot out-damage the heals of the Malfurion. And Apex will be able to take this game and move on to the finals.
And there you go. So, where do you think RFS made their mistake? Because I think, honestly, they didn't have enough good engages. And if Vala had gone with Rain of Vengeance instead of Strafe, they would have had a solid engage to start their fight with.
I definitely agree with that. The CC from Muradin, the pushback from Raynor, and the stun on Misha, I have to agree 100% with you. I think Strafe, it's just too easily interrupted and instantly stopped. So I think the Rain would have really offered a lot more. Asmodan then would be able to sit there, throw a globe down and laser or something, because the Rain of Vengeance would put down a wall. So I have to agree with you there completely that I think Rain of Vengeance would have been way better. But
Definitely.
hindsight 2020.
Of course. Absolutely. So yeah, that's it. I guess we're ready for the finals. Give us a moment to get that draft up and running for you while I'm sure Apex celebrates their win. And we'll be right back.
Familiar faces prolong the embraces. We were always once for the breakaway, but we're nearing chances to wake the day. They're calling you over, their methods are bolder. We're lost in the time now, reminding ourselves how we were always once for the breakaway, but we're nearing chances to wake the day.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Random Championship Series. How's everybody doing? I'm Mr. J Pickles. With me.
And I am ChronoCloud.
So, I'm sorry to say, well, not sorry to say, but we're headed into the finals. And
Not sorry about that part.
not sorry about that part. The two members in the in the semifinals before that were Divine Shield against Momentum, the champions, I believe, right? Momentum won last week.
Yes, they did.
They have not made it this week, unfortunately, and they were knocked out by Divine Shield. So we are going to be watching Apex Gaming and Divine Shield in the finals.
That's right. I am so surprised by this because you and I both saw how good Momentum were. So now, how good does Divine Shield have to be to take out last week's champions, Momentum?
Yeah, I wish we could have seen the game, but
I know. Same here. But that's okay. The important thing is we are seeing the finals happen, and the draft is up. Now, this is a best of 3. This is the one and only best of 3 match for the tournament. And we are down to 2 maps. It's either going to be Cursed Hollow or Dragonshire. So either one of my favorites or one of yours. And Cursed Hollow, my goodness.
how we have seen it. I think the only time we didn't see it was that Tomb of the Spider Queen map. So,
That's right.
3 out of 4, not bad. And of course, this being a best of 3. Can they play on the same map, though?
They can, actually. So the way it works is that the losing team gets to pick either the map or the first pick for the match. They get a choice, whatever they prefer.
Okay. So, may see
go ahead.
Cursed Hollow, but these teams are going very quickly. They seem like they really know what they want to do.
And no surprise, once again, we have an Uther ban and a Zagara ban for obvious reasons that we discussed earlier. Zagara for the vision, Uther because he is just the pimpest healer right now in the game.
Mm-hmm. The Jaina, of
And-
course, being taken as well.
Ooh, look at that. An Abathur Illidan combo. That's very cool. I haven't seen that combo played too much, but it's really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if they'll add in a Morales on top of that.
Abathur is by far my favorite hero, and the hat on Illidan is so strong. And on Cursed Hollow, on big maps, Abathur is super, super strong because when a tribute spawns, he can dig to the other side, and he's like a Brightwing in that he can lane soak and then get to the fight. Except he can continue to lane soak, and all he does is give a hat to Illidan, and boom, there you go, he's in the fight. So
Right.
I'm really excited to see this battle unfold.
This is going to be some high level play for sure. And on the Apex side, we have Jaina and Sonya. Very solid picks.
Followed
And
with that Malfurion.
second ban is going out.
What do you think Divine Shield goes for? They probably are a little bit afraid of CC.
That's true, but you know, there's so many characters that have CC, and you can see the Apex has picked up Malfurion, so there's some CC right there. I'm not sure. I think they would use the ban as a and they took the words right out of my mouth, as a deny basically, and you can see they denied Johanna to Apex, and Apex in turn has denied Tassadar to Divine Shield. Oh wow, look at the picks are coming so quickly. Brightwing and Muradin. So we're not going to see Morales. That would be very interesting. If you had the Stim droid and the Abathur hat going off at once on the Illidan, he would just, go berserk basically. So let's see here. I wonder if Apex is going to do something to surprise us, just like they did with the Rexar in the last game.
That's true. I feel like the weakness of Morales is that she can get focused down really easily, and seeing a Sonya already on the enemy team, she can just spear in and do a couple slams, and Morales will melt pretty fast. It's a little bit tougher to keep her alive, whereas Brightwing offers a little bit more. The polymorph, that level 16 criterize to amplify damage, blink heal, the lane soak too. Now you have both Brightwing and Abathur who can really be late to the fights and get a little bit of extra soaking. So in the early game, I could totally see Divine Shield right now running away with it. But Apex Gaming, ETC.
Yeah. So I don't imagine that Apex is going to go with a third tank. Was ETC buffed recently?
Yes, they buffed his guitar solo where it heals. I think they buffed the AoE healing to teammates, but I don't think he'll go for that. Normally, a lot of ETCs will either take block or get the extended range on the power slide.
Right, that's what I usually do. And Sylvanas to round out the team. Not a bad comp at all, especially for, a split pushing tactic. And that silencing arrow can, make for a wonderful engage.
Especially against an Illidan and Brightwing, silencing arrow and just try and blow him up quickly. No polymorphs, no blink heals, no metamorphosis. Can really deal a lot of damage. So it'll be interesting to see the
Kale.
How they are able to execute that. And Kale following up on Divine Shield side, strong range DPS. I see no problem in that pick at all.
Right. Very, very solid. So Divine Shield, very well rounded, I have to say. But Apex is also fairly well rounded. How are you leaning on this one? I'm gonna guess Divine because you like Abathur so much.
Yeah, hands down. I really love Abathur. I really love ETC as well. I rock his master skin all the time. The thing is, though, Divine Shield with the Abathur Illidan combo, not only can Abathur split push and split soak on a map that is beautiful for it because the objective is always, on one side of the map, so he can always go to the opposite side. But Divine Shield has counters to the ETC if he tries to go Mosh Pit or, well, if he goes Mosh Pit, they have a lot of counters, so it kind of forces ETC to have to go stage dive, which isn't really the strongest. It will allow him to get to the back line to the KT. So there are some plays that Apex can do to counter Divine Shield, but overall, I feel if the Illidan Abathur combo is executed perfectly, they'll just decimate Apex Gaming. So I got to give it to Divine Shield. I like Apex. I like what they can do, but Divine Shield.
I don't see ETC going mosh pit. It just doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he has to go the other way and hope that the team clumps together and he can hit them all at the same time.
Mm-hmm. The mosh, I mean, with such tight corridors, mosh pit could do well if he's able to get.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Brightwing.
I got my thing backwards. I don't see him going stage dive. He has to go mosh pit. I apologize.
Yeah.
There. Stage dive doesn't make sense here. He has to go mosh pit and hope that he hits most of them.
Yeah.
You know, with the ultimate.
Yeah, and with such tight areas, I mean, as long as he can hit Murden, KT, and or Brightwing, I mean, if it forces KT to have to use his trait to get a multi wind blast to knock them all up and interrupt, it forces Murden to save his Stormbolt to try and stun him because Avatar he won't be able to hit him, and it forces Brightwing to save Polymorph to counter the ETC. So I mean, ETC, if he can land mosh pits, they can just, I mean, if you land a mosh pit, you usually can win the game, but
right,
it's going to be very difficult to, but I can see the potential of hitting
sure.
it. So who do you think though? Was that an Apex call or?
So I'm tempted to go to Apex just to, you know, just to make things a little interesting here. But yeah, I mean, it's going to come down to the ETC and the Sylvanas. If the Sylvanas can do a good job of split pushing and getting off that silencing arrow properly, I think they stand a very solid chance. Because, you know, Illidan, he just needs to be hit by one root, and he can be focused fired down very quickly between Sonya and Jaina.
Yeah, Sonya, I feel, is a very nice counter to Illidan. If he pops evasion, spear toss, and then just slam him down, and usually you'll win that battle. The Abathur hat can, of course, change things up a little bit. And one thing that I didn't note is that if Abathur, which he probably will, goes Hive Mind, the double hat.
I was just about to ask that if he was going to go with Monstrosity or Hive Mind.
Yeah, he'll get the double hat, and if it lands on both Muradin and Illidan, Avatar attacking 25% faster, Illidan attacking 25% faster. If Muradin goes, give him the axe, that's even more damage. I mean, I just see so much potential for Divine Shield, and I love my Abathurs, so I'm a little bit biased in that aspect.
So, I don't remember the names of the ultimates here for Abathur, but you think he's going to go with the clone ultimate, or is he going to go with the where, you know, he pumps up one of the minions to do all that excellent siege damage?
He'll probably want to take Monstrosity because you're going to be spending most of your time as a hat. And so as a hat, you'll want to, you know, have maximum uptime giving people's hat, which means the Monstrosity, the one that spawns the unit, is going to be a little bit more valuable because you can just put that down and it'll do its thing, you know?
Right.
So...
And that's another option to, well, no, never mind. I take that back. We'll see what he does.
Yeah, definitely. On the blue side, we do have Divine Shield. We have Faux Rest on Abathur, Wilted on the Muradin, Handlebars on that Illidan, Mfu on Brightwing, and Nadebot on Kael'thas.
And on the red team, being played by Apex, we have Ziddy on Sonya, Camulus on Sylvanas, Altaholic on ETC, Azulcor on Malfurion, and Dragon 1414 on Jaina.
We can already see, like you stated, that Sylvanas pressuring. I mean, that Tribot, Jaina, Sylvanas, Malfurion, super strong, classic, old school when Sylvanas was released, but they are taking quite a bit of damage from that Kael'thas.
That's what Kael'thas does, and there's the hat on the minion. Jaina's getting kind of low there. Oh, there's the heal.
Yeah, I like putting Abathur down there, and you notice Kael just did 2 trait trait Qs just to clear up the lane. Super strong. He's able to poke him down. The Abathur spawning Locust too is pretty annoying. Nothing too extravagant, but it is annoying. In the other lanes, not too much. Illidan and Brightwing in that top lane can cause quite a problem, and it helps Illidan deal with the Sonya.
And you can see Abathur is dropping the mines into the bushes there, which Camulus keeps tripping.
Nice little poke damage even more, but they're doing a lot of damage and look like they'll be able to get this turret right away. Very early turret, but already you look at the experience and it's still rather even with a slight experience lead towards them.
Is this what, like only the second or third minion wave? One of the things with Ravenlord is there's such a short gap between the two bases. You don't normally see such a tiny gap in the other maps, so I think that makes things a little interesting here, especially for this comp. And it looks like Camulus and Dragon are backing off, swinging around to grab the Siege Giants here.
Yep, Illidan took the top ones right as Camulus and Dragon went for their bottom ones. Talent-wise, everything's pretty standard. ETC did decide to go for that power slide buffing, double neck guitar, and rolling like a stone. Everything else pretty normal, nothing out of the blue. First tribute though, has spawned on that top side.
That's right. And it looks like Divine is moving in to kind of secure it, and they picked it up no problem.
Yeah, instead Apex decided to just go for a heavy push on bot lane, completely clearing out the wall and also getting a full level lead right now, which is huge. Nobody's in mid lane for Divine Shield.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, Abathur. No! Abathur, no!
Oh, what happened? I missed it.
Caught out.
Oh, they broke down the wall and took him out, huh?
Yep, they caught him on the roots, and Jaina blizzard him, just able to completely destroy him. Nice little pick there, giving them even more experience. Meanwhile,
Still about even, though.
Yeah, it is pretty close, but that level 7 is ever closer, and I mean, the closer you get to 10 before that third tribute, the better. So, looking into that level 7 talents, wow, Sonya just now picked her level 4 talent.
Wow.
Nothing too extraordinary, pretty standard builds. Ziddy is taking quite a bit of damage from Wilted. He is trying to get that wall down. You can see Muradin with the reverberation and third wind. Nice sustain. Nothing
looks like...
too different though.
Oh, Ziddy's got back off now that Muradin has the hat.
Second tribute has spawned and Handlebars is moving down. I like his name already as well. It's fitting for me.
Oh, look at that. Lots of AoE going down.
Instant blow up onto Malfurion, but quickly answered on the KT as well. Handlebars he still has that hat, and Camulus has to be very careful that Illidan is not going to be stopping
Camulus
him.
is not going to get away at all.
Yep, and Illidan continues his reign, going after Dragon. Next is ETC. I mean, this is the power of the Illidan Abathur.
Right. And Mafu picks up the tribute, no problem. And, you know, this is interesting. So even though you had a slight lead with Apex pushing into that bottom lane, it looks like at this point Divine Shield is dominating the fights.
The nice pickups on that second tribute. I mean, Sonya dropped in... Where did Sonya die, even?
I didn't catch it.
I don't even know where she died. I apologize. She just popped. I don't know. Wish we could go back to the tapes, but I mean, Illidan being able to deal all that
collapsing beautifully on Malfurion.
Wow. That was amazing. The CC from KT.
Yeah, it was a gravity lapse, the flame strike. Muradin went in there. It was brutal. And they get level 10 first.
They get the level 10. They get to start the boss as well with a 2 out of 3 tribute lead. We see the Metamorphosis, Phoenix, Monstrosity, Blinkheal, and Avatar. Nothing too surprising. That is what we expected. And what a great tribute spawn as well on their side. And after just capturing the boss, I feel like Apex is just going to have to forfeit this.
Yeah. But if they do, then they, of course, way out of position on the Sonya.
Yeah, we'll get chased down. That Abathur hat on either one of Illidan or Muradin. Gonna be too much to handle. This tribute will be there. They're still not going for it though, which is kind of weird. They should try and capture it to help their boss push.
And that's exactly what they're doing right now. Mufu is picking that one up. And that's a smart move, because obviously he teleports right over to them, so he's the logical choice to grab the tribute. And they're pushing. Divine Shield pushing really deep.
Handlebars taking no mercy. Just once he has that Abathur hat on him, he's just going for it. I mean, I don't blame him. And you could also see this multi-lane soak. Abathur's all the way top. A huge mosh
there's
pit.
the mosh pit. Stunned.
Instantly stopped though by Wilted on that Muradin. Illidan just dealing the damage. Cromulus on that Sylvanas is not in a great spot. Metamorphosis goes down. Sonya has fallen. ETC will die, and Handlebars still chasing him. The teleport going down from Mfu will give Handlebars a sustain, getting the kill on
goes
Jaina.
down. My goodness.
And with that curse up as well, Handlebars could die further, but decides, nah, let's help this boss push even more. Abathur on that top lane. Oh no, Handlebars diving over the wall is going to try and get Malfurion. A missed spear. Still chasing him. Will get
Oh my god. Wow.
Can he get out alive though? He gets that shield and wow. Wow.
That's crazy.
The power.
I've never seen an Illidan played like that.
Sonya now being picked off with Muradin and the hat on Abathur. Muradin will fall, but look at that. They take out so many heroes. Mfu is trying to run. Handlebars now getting the hat. The CC
Re-engaging on Jaina. Oh my god.
They have level 13 too. The chain bomb is too much. Handlebars continues. Oh my gosh.
And they're just going to keep going after the fort. This is looking very bad for Apex. They are outclassed.
That one curse turned into multiple kills, 3 forts, 1 keep, 3 level lead, almost 4 level. They're getting close to 16, and Apex hasn't even hit 13 yet.
Oh my goodness. This is looking very bad for Apex. I mean, what can they really do? It looks like Divine Shield is going to start picking up all the camps. And I bet Apex is going like, oh my goodness, what do we do now? What's the plan?
That I'm speechless. That Handlebars and Abathur hat just going deep. They now have level 16. They have a 2 talent lead. You can't fight that. Apex has to just sit back in their fort and hope that they won't try and end it. But Ziddy and ETC.
They're going after Ziddy. Nice mosh pit. Nice mosh pit, but there's no one there to capitalize on it.
It was a sacrifice for Ziddy, unfortunately. Oh man. They do get level 13, but at what that first curse was too much.
Yeah. And so this boss is going to be grabbed very easily. And you can see they've got the bruisers moving up the middle as well with the Abathur hat. What do you think? Does Apex even have a chance at this point? Is it winnable for them, or is it just GG? Do you think?
I mean, you've got KT that got his level 13 talent, plus he's 3 levels ahead. You got Illidan that has a hat build Abathur. You got Critterize now on Brightwing. The late game just, I feel, is all Divine Shield, and with such a huge lead, they don't have to worry about anything really. They could have Abathur go for these tributes if they really want. I mean, this game is all theirs right now.
And you can see they're completely ignoring the tribute, just pushing in with Handlebars, and he's going after anyone he can get his hands on.
A huge Metamorph able to hit so many members. Ziddy will now fall. Handlebar is still going to town. He does get Shrink Raid, but it does not matter. Nice little power slide to slow him down. He is still going though with the hat, auto attacking him down. Muradin flying in to jump. The boss has taken out the keep. They're on the core. I don't think there's any way of stopping them, as they have a 3-level lead. It's just too much.
I have to agree with you. I think this is one of the faster games we've seen.
11 minutes and 14 seconds time.
Wow. Wow. That wasn't just a defeat. That was like an execution.
That was I just don't even that one curse. That was it. There were no other tributes after that. They went from even footing to we're now 4 levels ahead, have a keep. Top wall is already down and that keeps low health. Like they took away with that Abathur Illidan combo.
The craziest thing was I didn't know that Illidan could do that kind of the jump that he did over the fort.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing. That was crazy.
Oh man, the escapability of Illidan was just so strong. The fact that he went all the way to their fountain, killed
Yeah.
Malfurion, and then able to get all the way back and then re-engage again. Like I'm coughing. I need water. That was just way too ridiculous.
Blown away. Just absolutely blown away. All right. Let's catch our breath. Put yourself in Apex shoes. What do you do? Do you deny Illidan? Do you ban Illidan now as your first pick?
I mean, if you're gonna take first pick and you saw them instantly go with Illidan Abathur, I feel like you go for first pick again. That wasn't even the map issue right there. That was just
No.
them being counterpicked. I think you just first pick, ban out Illidan instantly. Like,
Right.
because then they have to do something different. You can't really do a
You can't
hat
use
build.
Abathur. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
I mean, that. Wow.
So I'm gonna check to see if we have the next draft up. Give me a moment here.
Yep, that was one of possible three games. Divine Shield taking that game very handily with their Kael'thas, Muradin, Brightwing, Abathur, Illidan. I think one thing to note, if I'm still in the lobby, yes, Abathur soaked 13,400 experience. The next closest was Brightwing on their team with 9,400. So not only did they get those kill leads, but the experience soak from Abathur was just so much.
Right. I wasn't sort of paying attention too closely to the Abathur. Was he burrowing around the map while it was?
He was on opposite sides of the tribute pretty consistently, and then when they did that huge bottom push with the boss, he went to the top side and was sitting right next to the fort with a monstrosity because he knew that if they want to send somebody up, that means the 4 members are going to have a great time, and he can protect himself with mines to know where they are, with burrow as well just to get away. Like,
Right.
he did a really great job of being aware of where the enemy team was and knowing that's trusting your team, knowing that they're going to be like, we're going, which forces Apex to have to respond to that. So
Very true. And so, I really would not be surprised if they put the ban on Illidan here. And so the loser gets 2 options. They get either first pick or to choose the map. And I think it's pretty obvious they're going to go for a first pick here because, as you mentioned, it wasn't even a map issue. So do you think that Apex is going to stick to the same comp, or they're going to, do something a little different, go back to Rexar maybe?
I feel they shouldn't have gone ETC at all. Johanna was banned out, and Muradin was picked pretty late. I don't know. I feel like they should have gone for a different tank. I mean, ETC is solid, but when you see... Well, I guess they didn't have... No, they had Brightwing and Muradin at that point, right? Because they chose first. Then they pick Illidan Abathur. They pick Sonya Malf, Bans. They pick Brightwing Muradin. Yeah, so they picked ETC into a Brightwing and Illidan, or Brightwing and Muradin. So I feel like that was just a misplay on choosing a tank that wasn't really ready or able to really fight. Like Mosh Pit, he hit it but was CC'd, and then when he did hit it, after they were so far
stunned
behind,
out of it very quickly. Yeah,
so
for sure. And so the next draft is just about ready to go up here. Let me send you the link. There you are.
thank.
And so they are just the map's already been chosen. It's Dragonshire.
Yeah, my other favorite map.
My other favorite map as well. And there go the first bans. And very interesting here,
Wow.
Apex has chosen to ban out Zagara.
This looks very similar to the last one. That was the exact same band, Zagara Uther, into a
Yeah,
Jaina pick. Are we just gonna have a rematch? Are they gonna first pick Illidan and Abathur? It's not
I
as
don't know.
good of an Abathur map, but do you think Divine Shield would want to go for it again?
I don't see why not. I mean, it was just such a powerful comp.
Mm-hmm.
Um, why not? I mean, listen, I'm curious to see what other tricks they have up their sleeve, of course. But I mean, if it ain't broken, why fix it, right?
Exactly. Oh man, it was nonstop fighting, and they do decide to go for something else, taking the Johanna and KT.
So I think with that selection, Apex isn't going to ban Illidan. Doesn't make sense. Illidan doesn't really fit into this comp.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it still might. He still might actually. Uh, let's see what they choose to ban.
I mean, KT Johanna, it really leaves you open ended. You can really fill that team out with anything. You got a solid front line, solid back line.
Right.
Apex Gaming, of course, they may want to pick up a tank now before they lose it. So probably gonna go Muradin, and then they could pick up another ranged damage dealer if they really want to secure that.
I mean,
There's a
they
lot of
could go with
options.
Leoric.
Mm-hmm.
Leoric is still a solid choice, even
Mm-hmm.
with the recent nerfs.
His Drain Hope is still strong. He does have that March of the Mad King or Entomb, which is really good as well. But they decide the Rainer, not a bad choice at all.
Not a bad choice. Still very much backline. Let's see here
Mm-hmm.
what the other selection is. Muradin, okay.
He's getting
Just
that
like you
front
said,
line, leveling it out, and
right? And so
now,
now, second ban.
yep. What do you think Divine Shield goes for?
I don't really think it's going to be a deny. It has to be a deny,
Mm-hmm.
right? Tyrande.
Yeah, I can see Murd and Tyrande on Dragonshire is pretty deadly.
Yeah.
The rotation, excuse me, again is pretty strong. And Apex, of course, now with their ban, what do they go?
Man, again, it has to be a deny. Um,
Would they want to get rid of a
maybe,
support?
maybe Malfurion,
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
Yeah, this is a really tough. I feel like a damage dealer may be pretty good because it you do have two solid damage dealers
There you
already.
go, Vala.
Yeah, it takes out even more damage dealers. That really only leaves. I mean, there's still a lot out there. They could
There's still
go
plenty.
for Nazebo. They could go Tychus, although they have been a little bit out recently. They did. Well, Nazebo received some nerfs, but they're still strong. They're not bad.
Yeah, no, they're still very, very solid. Um, and plenty of other characters do, good damage on Dragonshire. I would love to see a Falstead here. Falstead does very well on this map.
Mm-hmm.
I don't expect to see him, but I think it'd be a nice little twist. I think would throw people off.
Definitely.
His maneuverability and the fact that he can fly around um, makes him a very good choice for this particular map. But I
Mm-hmm.
don't think they'll play it that way. Then again, I might be. Listen, surprise me, Divine Shield. I'd love to see it.
One thing I've seen in Hero League a lot is Thrall. I've seen a surprising amount of Thralls.
Really. So Thrall is a very powerful late game character. Early game,
Mm-hmm.
he's a bit on the weak side, though.
Yeah.
It's only really around level 10, 13 that he starts to sort of really beef up.
Yeah. So they probably wouldn't want that then. I mean, he's a solid hero, but
Tychus, look at that.
all right, and the monk as well.
Right.
I mean, that's solid damage. You're also trying to find any damage you can right now because Apex with their final two picks, they can pick up a damage dealer and of course their support.
Right. Now here's the thing. You've got obviously Tychus is more of a backline person, and then Johanna's front line. It's tricky to play Karazim with this team, right? Because you constantly have to be darting back and forth, making sure everyone's in range to get your heal.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder who the last one's going to be. You think Divine will want to go with a melee, or you think they'll go with a ranged DPS?
I could see another tank. You have such a solid backline that if you have 2 tanks, it could do really well. Get that Sonya maybe, get maybe just another tank, a Leoric or something like that. Something that can really control people. Entomb would be fantastic because KT and Tychus don't have a way to get out of it. So Leoric could do well. Of course, you could do a range or melee damage dealer just to make sure you have enough damage.
Right.
The Lily, solid pick, although I feel that Cups will be pretty easily interrupted. And
Rexar. See, they went with the Rexar, like I said.
Whoa!
Lost Vikings.
Whoa!
Now, that is a really interesting pick. We've seen Lost Vikings last week as well. They are so good for soaking EXP because you split them up.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
which team do you think has a stronger comp?
oh man, Lost Vikings. I like them, but I don't know. They're oh man, Divine Shield. Why'd you do this to me? They're
I have to say, I'm with Divine Shield on this. They've clearly demonstrated a very high level of play. There's no doubt in my mind that they can micromanage the Lost Vikings to their full potential.
That's true. I like Apex Gaming, but I feel like Divine Shield may be able to, as you stated, soak a little bit better. They do have some nice, like really nice damage dealers. Kael'thas, of course, at 13, just amazing. Johanna has a lot. I mean, it's gonna be close, but with Divine Shield, how handedly they took that game 1, just completely dominated. I feel like they have definitely a huge upper hand.
This is going to be an uphill battle for Apex. They have something to prove now after that last game, for sure.
I mean, that Illidan Abathur is still just, I'll have dreams about it, and more so dreams because I'm like, yes, Abathur, that's how you do it. Illidan, yes, woo. But man, Lost Vikings, I've been playing them recently. They are super strong, but also, I mean, with
super squishy too.
Yeah, and with their death timers no longer reduced until you get to level 20, if you want to take that talent, which most people don't. If Apex can abuse that fact and kill them pretty quickly, then Divine Shield will be in trouble. But I think with the composition of Apex, I think Divine Shield will be fine. I think the Vikings won't really have too much to worry about. And they should, I feel Divine Shield, just as you stated, the soak could really just take off with this.
I feel the soak is really going to make the difference here, honestly. But, we'll see. We're just about ready to begin. Everyone is ready. And I'm going to give them the heads up to proceed on our end. Oh, you already did? Good.
Ready. We're ready to rumble.
That's right. This is it. This is the week 2 of the NexVerse 5v5 tournament. This is the finals. This might be it for Divine Shield to make a clean sweep.
Indeed, we are loading in to the Dragonshire. Oh, man, it's gonna be interesting to see how Divine Shield will execute this and how Apex Gaming will respond, because it's gonna be tough to respond to the Vikings. They can do it, but it's gonna be tough.
Right, and so the blue team this time is going to be Divine Shield. We've got Wilted on Johanna, Nadebot on Tychus, Forest on Lost Vikings, Mufu on Karazim, the healer again, and Handlebars is playing Kayle this time.
And in the red on Apex Gaming, we have Ziddy on that Rexar, Camulus on Jaina, Altaholic on Muradin, Dragon 1414 on that Raynor, and Azulcore on that Lily. I like the money pig too. That's pretty cool. Their colors aren't matching though, so I worry a little bit. But I don't think either team's colors are matching, so
I think that's the least of their concerns. And you can see they're all in the middle. They're ready for a gank, Apex.
Man, that spread covering all the bushes. Johanna, though, is not who you really want to see. Not somebody you can just easily kill, as she'll just pop Iron Skin and walk out of that. It looks like they're going for that Tomb of the Spider strat. Clear, and then spread out.
That's what it seems like, yeah. And you can see they're trying to take out the Lost Vikings for an early kill. Don't quite manage to pull it off.
Little Eric taking a bit of damage. Forrest running around, taunting them a little bit. The one thing I love about the Vikings is that you can have somebody in the lane and then run one up to get the shrine. And then if somebody comes, you run him back. And I mean, you could just do such... There's so many fun little micro tricks you can do with the Vikings. The most pleasing one on this map is you send 2 Vikings, 1 to each shrine, and then 1 to the dragon. And you just do the entire objective by yourself. That's always so much fun.
I can imagine. And you can see Zidias sent his bear to capture the shrine. That's a nice little move there.
I didn't even think about that. The Rexar being able to basically have his own Viking, except a really, really strong one at that, Misha.
Right. And looks like Forrest is moving up one of the Vikings. Oh, nope.
The dance of the bear and the Vikings.
That's right. The bottom shrine, though, firmly controlled by Divine Shield. And looks like Apex is gonna sizing them up to make a move. Lily is moving in, as Chlor is trying to capture it as we speak.
Rexar's got a nice hold on top. Tychus, Nadebot trying to defend it, taking a lot of damage, though. We'll have to back out eventually. Mfu going in there, throwing some punches. Handlebars giving the poke right back. Azulcore finally will be able to capture it, but I don't think all
Nadebot's waiting. Lily is by herself now. Oh, nope. Lots of poking. Nice blizzard.
In the top lane, though, the Vikings did cancel the tribute, but then, of course, Ziddy sent his bear just to dance back and forth in the top lane. But Wilted's doing a great job of preventing the mid being captured.
Yeah, Altaholic is doing his best to capture, but I don't see him getting an opportunity. Someone's got to make a mistake. Someone needs to die.
Mm-hmm.
They're both even at 5.
Oh, Handlebar's going way too aggressive on the receiving end of Comulus and Rainer's damage. Mfu trying to run away now, but with that Jaina slow, it may be too much as he is shot down by Dragon, and that's going to secure the bottom shrine for them.
Now, do they rotate up and take out Wilted? I think they have to.
Mm-hmm. Try and force him out, but the thing is, in top lane, Forrest is able to secure that tribute, and Ziddy getting very low on the Rexar. He will be able to survive, but has to be a little bit careful because he doesn't have the sustain that the Vikings have, because Olaf can just back up, heal, get back into the fight. Eric and Baylog can back one at a time and come back. Like, there's so many different things that they can do.
Right, and so this is what I was talking about before about Dragonshire. We might be a little while before we see our first dragon.
Mm-hmm. One dragon in the game may be the thing.
Yeah. And you can see they're pushing really hard on Auskalar, but they get out of there.
Ooh.
Jaina tried to punish them with the blizzard, but Nate did a good job of dodging it for the most part.
Olaf did die in the top lane. 0.25 experience to Apex. Not a whole lot, though. Nadebot taking a lot of damage. Maybe
He's going to go down. Yep.
Interesting strategy there. Now Mfu, of course, on the wrong end as well, will fall again. And so Apex is able to hold his bot lane and deal massive damage with these giants.
And now they've got a sizable lead. About 3/4 of a level on their opponents. Is the dragon going to be captured? Nope. Wilted is still there, blocking Altaholic.
Still being annoying as always. Rexar in that top lane, holding down that shrine, and with such a huge advantage of bot lane, they easily have that. Now with Dragon rotating up, that will secure the dragon for Altaholic and Apex, and they will move on. Jaina did end up falling in the bottom lane, but it was too little too late as that dragon was captured.
Right, and so now the question is how much push are they going to get with the dragon? I actually don't think they're going to get too far, to be honest with you. Altaholic looks like he's waiting for his allies. And he's moving down.
Oh, can he
Looks like
get
they don't know. Oh,
Nadebot?
trying to get Nate. Nope, don't quite make it. But they're going to make a little push into his bottom, though. He's backing off.
Playing very conservatively with this dragon, but taking that one turret out, of course, is a nice little experience. Lead moving to the top lane, going for that. I think he could do a little bit more damage, especially being a Murd, and I think he could punish a little bit more with that dragon.
You can see most of the fights happening there in the bottom lane. Dragon's not getting much backup. And they're actually about dead even. What's happening is the Vikings are soaking up the extra EXP. They're making up for the difference. And so I think they're both going to get 10 at about the same time because of the Vikings.
Misha was picked off in the top lane as well by those Vikings. They went hunting and killed her. So nice pickup, another 0.25 experience to them to even it out a little bit. But even with that 3-kill lead, they just got level 10, which will be very shortly followed by Divine Shield.
Yep, there's that 10 for both sides. And let's take a look at the level 10 talents. So for Divine Shield, we've got Longboat for the Lost Vikings. No surprise there. Divine Palm, Phoenix, Commander Odin. Odin is going to be, I think, sort of the clutch ultimate here for Divine Shield. And Blessed Shield for Johanna. No surprise there.
And on the red team on Apex, they do have Water Elemental, Hyperion, Jug of 1,000 Cups. But hold, I thought Zakor is getting taken out. He will not be able to pop the cups. The stun damage from Wilted Kael'thas landing that, what is the name of it? I always forget it. The
Gravity Lapse.
Gravity Lapse. Perfect CC. Olaf will fall at the top lane. We still have yet to get an ultimate from Rexar. He doesn't seem to know if he wants to go Boars or if he wants to buff Misha.
Still deciding. I think he just made a decision, though.
Yes, he did go with Bestial Wrath, get a stronger Misha.
And so Commander Odin, I think, is just so powerful. Lots of AoE damage. There goes the Hyperion to try and kind of zone them out, but they're being persistent about it.
Finally fall back after taking that turret. That is a nice pickup, though, to have the Hyperion already canceled out. They may try and pick a fight here now because of that. And I mean, they do have...
You can see Mufu's kind of hiding. He's waiting. And Nate's coming in. Oh.
They're all waiting.
Yeah. Yeah, but Apex doesn't want to overextend, though. They want to collapse. There goes the Phoenix.
Phoenix a little bit wasted. I guess they didn't know how many were in on that shrine, but they could have held on to it. It is on a short cooldown, though, so it's not really gonna be too much. But wow, that was a very quick dragon. I think Balog's in it too. Yep. The Vikings did it. They had 2 Vikings top, took the shrine, and had 1 in the middle to capture it. So if he dies after this dragon, it won't really matter a whole lot, but it is dropping very quickly. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, we do see Divine Shield forcing it down, making Apex have to rotate down to try and defend that. They are going in onto
nice
Dragon.
Blessed Shield, Phoenix. Divine Cups is keeping Raynor alive, and he makes it out of there.
Wow. He had a sliver of health, but his passive in the 1,000 Cups, just enough. That fort getting low. They will be able to keep it alive, I believe, but chain bomb now.
Just so. Looks like Nate is coming in, and he's going to finish it off. He still hasn't used Odin, which I'm kind of surprised by. And there's Bestial Wrath.
Nice little poking back and forth. In the top lane, Muradin taking on the Vikings. Olaf getting very low. They do have that jump and are able to get away. Oh, tried to get the kill. Did he go the hammer stack? He did go Perfect Storm.
Yeah.
So
I mean, honestly, I think that's probably one of the best ways to start off your Muradin build. But you can see in the mid lane, Handlebars and Wilted are picking up the Bruiser camp.
They're diving onto Nadebot, able to get the kill. The Misha is stunned just enough, gets that pickup. They're going to force down that bot lane now as well. And I mean, that Apex is not out of this yet. They definitely, they're keeping it close.
There's the Hyperion. He's going to do some decent damage here to the fort.
A little bit of damage, retreating a little bit. Let's take a look at the level 13 talents to see what's going on there. Pretty much standard stuff. Stim pack, though, I don't play Tychus enough, so I can't really tell you if that's a normal or not.
It's a solid pick for him. It really is. He's counting on his ability to sort of position himself. Tychus is all about that, and you know, I'm guessing here that Nadebot is very confident in his positioning skills.
Well,
But
they are.
you can see,
Sorry, go.
I was going to say, Apex is not rolling over like they did last match. They're putting up quite the fight for Divine Shield.
Exactly. I was gonna say, although Divine Shield is behind in kills, they are, you know, they're keeping up with it in Apexes. They are not giving up, but not doing a whole lot of damage with that first dragon. Kind of hurt them, I feel.
I don't know. It's still pretty much anyone's game, although obviously Divine Shield gets their level 16 talents first. It's not too much of an advantage.
Imposing Presence, Stone Skin, 64, Marathon, Circle of Life, and Arcane Barrier. Pretty normal talents, although sometimes the Vikings do choose to go.
Lily way out of position, and she's going to go down.
Very nice pickup. The gun. Oh my gosh, I can't remember any of my abilities today, but Tychus's gun, Gravity Lapse, of course, dealing massive damage. A nice little pick there. That's 2 or 3 pickups now on that Lily. They're just abusing that Lily right now.
And so, looks like, yeah, Ziggy's doing a good job of holding down the top keep. Top shrine, I should say.
Yeah, the Vikings are trying to do a little bit. They try and get on the other side, and they're body blocking them. Pop the longboat raid with Nadebot up there as well.
Oh, Ziddy's gonna go down, I think. Yeah.
Altaholic pops that Avatar, is trying to run away. Wilted, though, with the Blessed Shield, will get that kill onto Murden. A great 2-for-none exchange, and the fort. Now they just have to capture the shrines and make sure nobody tries to ninja steal it, and there they go, straight towards mid to prevent any capturing.
And meanwhile, you can see one of the Vikings is grabbing the top shrine.
Level 16 was reached by Apex Gaming. Northern Explosion on that Jaina to get a little bit more bonus damage.
And I think they're going to get the next dragon. Here it comes.
Yep,
There
Balog
we
is
go.
going to hop into that. They did start the Knights, too, on Apex's side, so they'll get a little bit more pressure at top lane while this pushes mid, which, I mean, Divine Shield now, they're doing it again. They got a little bit of an advantage. They now have the objective in their hands, and they're just going for it.
Yes, they are.
Odin has
There's
been
the Odin.
tossed. They're finally going for the engagement. Phoenix is tossed over the wall. Hyperion to try and counter the engagement. The dragon does fall, and Balog has to retreat a little bit because he doesn't have the rest of the Vikings there. Water Elemental being popped by Camulus. Eric has come down as well. Johanna popping the Iron Skin. Balog will fall, and the Blessed Shield goes out to try and slow down Apex, but they are giving into the chase.
Very nice counterattack. Nade is way out of position. They're going to turn around and take him on.
Yeah, he's a little bit greedy, but this may be good as it forced the damage dealers back, but he will fall to the Muradin. Now the rest of them.
Yeah,
Ooh.
and the Mafu tried to move in to save him, but that's going to cost him big time.
Yeah, Wilted is going to fall, and the Vikings as well, all alone. Olaf will be able to run away, and Mafu trying to run away. That engagement looked so good for them, but was turned so quickly by Apex. Nadebot, what do you think he was trying to do there on that bottom side?
That's a good question. I think he was trying to, you know, he probably thought he could somehow get away. He was trying to get them to peel off and go after him and then escape, but it clearly backfired.
Mm-hmm. It worked a
Oh.
little bit, but
A little bit. And you can see Jaina, Camulus, and Azkalar are moving in to try and grab the siege camp from under their nose. Forest is moving in with Mafu.
Water Elemental being popped. They're dealing the damage to Balog. They finally force him off of it. A nice little steal there. Water Elemental being on cooldown, though, does kind of suck. The Water Elemental's trying to get him, Fu. Won't be able to.
Not quite.
Shrines are popping. Those giants are doing some damage, but will be cleaned up pretty quickly before they do anything serious.
Agreed, and the shrines are about to go up in just shy of 10 seconds.
Giants did capture that turret. Nice little victory there. And this game is still dead even. Both teams getting very close to the level 20, which will be exciting to see exactly what level 20 talents the Vikings go
Ooh,
for.
looks like Wilted is kind of overextended there.
Balog taking a lot of damage from Misha. Misha, though, this is very close quarters. Misha will
Phoenix,
fall.
Hyperion.
Avatar.
Cups.
Everything is being popped right now. Muradin all the way in there. The boats just doing so much damage. Commander Odin is being popped. Muradin is forced to retreat. Wilted with the Divine
Nice
Palm.
Divine Palm.
He will fall, but no, he has the level 20 talent to keep him alive. The nice bolt from Handlebars to pick up the kill on Raynor. 3 for none exchange. Johanna still alive. Huge pickup, level 20, and they're pressuring that mid keep now.
Wow, that was a crazy, crazy exchange.
Indestructible picked up on Wilted very quickly to keep him alive. So even though Divine Palm didn't trigger, it kept him alive. Big red button on that Odin as well, just in time. The Ragnarok and roll, Storm Shield, and the bolt from Handlebars. Just great pickings, and there we got to see it. The Vikings captured both shrines and got the dragon as well, and they're going for the game right here.
I think this might be it. Obviously, Apex is down 3. They're not going to be up in time, and this might be game. You can see Ziddy's trying to get them to sort of get off the core.
Yeah.
He's going to die.
And wow.
Yeah.
Very, very close game 2. But after that level 20 talent was hit, Divine Shield just popped in and just killed it super fast.
So I think, first of all, let's say this. Huge congratulations to Divine Shield for winning week 2 of the RandomCS 5v5 NexVerse tournament. Totally, things point value wise, they're going to be up there at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Week 3, anything can happen because remember this is a 6-week tournament.
Definitely.
So this is very exciting for me. But let's take a look at that last exchange. Let's talk about it for a minute. What happened there? Because everyone popped everything. How did Divine Shield keep themselves up?
Well, Altaholic jumped in pretty far with his Muradin, and the cups weren't really in range. And during that fight, Divine Shield was able to get level 20, and right when they got level 20, I think that's when Odin was popped, so he had that increased duration. The Vikings had the Ragnarok and roll going. Johanna, of course, had that hardened shield, and I mean, once you get level 20 talents, it just changes entirely. Storm Shield for Mfu was able to get some more shields, get some more AoE healing, and just, I mean, in that tight area, Kael'thas with his Arcane Barrier to give him a little bit more sustain, with Chain Bomb, with the Flame Strikes, with the Phoenix dealing massive damage, it was just too much for one Lili to try and heal with 1,000 cups, and they were just able to kind of power through all that sustain.
It was a bit touch and go. We saw the Divine Palm go off and miss.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that I thought that they were going to start dying off after that, but they managed to keep it together. Also, the Lost Vikings seemed like they overextended. They kind of got stuck into the bushes to the right there. Mm-hmm. But no, they held it together. It was very impressive.
It was a really nice fight by them. And especially, I believe that was like the real only big 5v5 fight. There were a little bit of skirmishes. There was that one, of course, on the front keep, which Apex was able to take away, but Divine Shield found that small window right when they got 20, took it, and just, I mean, they closed the game out on it with the Vikings able to split top and bot shrine. One goes to the dragon and just push it down. It was really well played. Really
excellent.
Well executed.
Job well done, Divine Shield. Congratulations on your win.
Mm-hmm. And congratulations also to Apex Gaming for getting second place. They do,
True.
I believe, get some points for that as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We'll have to see. I mean, anything can happen, of course. Divine Shield was able to beat Momentum, last week's winner, so that is a nice little point switch for them. And
right.
I mean, what do you think these teams are going to really take from this for next week, especially after seeing Divine Shield run that Abathur Illidan so well, and anything else that's coming? How do you think these teams will react?
I think we didn't see the Momentum versus Divine Shield fight.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious what combo they used there. Did they go with the Illidan Abathur build as well? If so, I think Momentum's going to have to either ban it or counter it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be key because clearly that strategy works, and clearly they're going to use it again. They have to be stupid not to.
Yeah, that was an 11-minute fight, 11-minute game. That was just, yeah, it
Right.
was ridiculous.
That was a brutal beatdown.
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed my day here. I hope you guys as well did. Chrono, where can they find you at?
Excellent question. I'm glad you asked. You can find me on Twitter at ChronoCloud, KRONOCLOUD. You can also find me on thegww.com. We have a fantastic esports section that's growing all the time. Lots of articles on Heroes of the Storm, lots of guides onto how to play certain characters. So look us up there. And last but not least, my video game podcast, Press Any Key, which just basically goes over what's new in the world of gaming every week. Definitely check it out on iTunes and Stitcher.
Nice. I like the title, Press Any Key.
Thank you. What about yourself, Mr. Pickles? Where can they find you?
I am Mr. J Pickles. You can find me pretty much anywhere. Just Google search Mr. J Pickles. You'll find me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, MrJPickles.com. Everything is Mr. J Pickles.
In the phone directory, on Wikipedia, on CNN. He's everywhere.
Everywhere. I look to play, be educational. I try and help people learn, but then also try and give insight onto the scene and how teams can, execute properly. Kind of an analyst and whatnot. So, but yeah. You guys are watching, of course. Big thanks to RandomCS for hosting this tournament. You can find all their information. I believe it's being probably posted in the chat. Yeah, we got randomcs.com. And then also make sure you guys sign up for the tournament next week.
Right, you could come in at week 3 and have a very strong fighting chance to actually, get first place by the end of the 6 weeks. It's still anybody's game.
Definitely. So look to sign up. Follow them on Twitter as well. And, get your friends. Get 5 of you guys together. Come battle it out. It's fun. It's quick, as you can see. Some of these fights were so fast. I think the only ones that were pretty long was that Tomb of the Spider one. But other than that, it was just like just battling through it.
And you know what? Even if you don't have 5 friends to do this, RandomCS will help you find enough people to make a team. So they actually have a program in place to help fill out your team. Let's say you only have 3 people. They'll help you find the other 2.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's perfect, actually.
So definitely check them out. And it's been a pleasure casting here tonight. Mr. J. Pickles, it's been, as always, an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you guys next week in the Random Championship Series. Take care and have a good night.
Till next time.